Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Chaotic Exposure. This is episode 3. No, I'm kidding. 12. I'm trying to drive Neil crazy right now. Um, so go ahead, let's start.
He's
Oh
like
yeah,
massaging
we
his temple.
let's start with our shot.
Please.
I think Neil needs two.
They're not even shots anymore. It's like a quarter to half a glass of alcohol now. They've escalated. We're just gonna be drinking. Wow, you down that puppy.
Ooh, that was a lot.
So poor Neil. I say poor Neil. This morning, Monday mornings are kind of a hot mess, I think, for all of us. Um, but I was up this morning trying to catch up on messages. I'm getting pinged in Discord, like trying to go through and recover from like how busy the weekend was with everything. And I look in our group chat and Neil said something about recording today and going through questions, and Dragon's like, "Wait, that's today?" And then I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot." And Neil's like, "No, it's okay. I don't have high blood pressure or anything." Like super dramatic. But like all morning we've been trying to go through and organize and get our stuff together, and poor Neil looks like he just has been trying to
It's been a
rally.
long,
Yeah,
it's
kids
been
Yeah,
a
in
long
Neil
stew.
weekend.
tries to be all professional and stuff, and I have no idea what's going on. I just YOLO everything.
He has to be
And
because
then on
Dragon
top,
and I are such messes.
and on top of all that, like both of you have just been like rude in the main chat. Not
Oh
last night.
my
Last night was fun.
gosh, you're so
But like,
dramatic.
I don't know.
I don't know what I.
I'm
And then
never
and then
rude.
and then Dragon just straight up ghosts me. I call him, try to talk to him, and he's just like, still doesn't even know why I was calling him, and that's fine. I moved on.
No, you call me right after working 12 hours, and I was like, right. I think I was like deep sleep, and I hadn't like I look at my phone, and I had no idea what was going on, so I just ignored it. Like I didn't
Poor
know
Dragon.
what I was supposed to do. Like my brain was still off.
I don't deserve it. It's rude.
I'm sorry. Not really.
Not really.
So what's been
Oh
going on?
man.
I feel like we've all been so busy with stuff that we're just trying to catch up. I mean, it's been insane.
Yeah.
And like even over the weekend, like work. I mean, this space never sleeps, so neither do we. But
Mm.
I just feel like it's been extra busy.
I mean, like for me, Chris has a collection that we're trying to mint out, and we're almost there. And so I've been 24/7 around the clock
How
trying to
many are
get them.
left?
83. We're getting there.
83. Wow, that's
Yeah,
quick.
and then Whiskey has the Nemesis sign-ups, and you too, Dragon, as a mod over there. Like you guys have been like swamped with tickets. And on top of that, there's just like the human element of all this, where we all have elements of humans that we,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's good or bad, I will leave that to the imagination. But it's always a good time. It's been busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dragon's work, he's like, you weren't paying attention at the moment, Whiskey, but like he was like, everything is falling apart at work, everything. And I was like, if you die, Whiskey's gonna kill you. Like you can't.
I will bring you back to life and kill you myself.
Oh,
Yeah, that
it's just
place
been.
is like it's over 100 years old, and it's
One big booby trap.
Oh,
I was done hearing about his work stories when he said some guy like got slammed with something and his eyes popped out or whatever. I was like, what the no. You can't work there anymore. That's not normal.
no, that's not normal.
yeah, that
I
was
mean,
crazy.
I like how he incriminates himself by talking about lighting a torch. Just
Mm-hmm.
awesome. It's just not okay.
No, this is
Well,
not normal work
you
stories.
it was supposed to be between me, Chris, and Drill,
Bro.
but they had to tell everyone.
He like shares it in a space too. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to know this. It stresses me out.
Oh. It's been a long week. I feel like, I mean, last week was fun to just record us because we got stood up, and if that guy listens on him,
He's not gonna listen now.
um, I know. But it's fun. But it's been, gosh, man. I like I said, it's just been exhausting. I'm having a great time, not to be dramatic, because I love what I'm doing. I'm exhausted. And I can't even imagine what it's like, because it seems like the Misfits had a big culture shift this week. Like they just like it was a big pivot, and then all of a sudden work got slammed. You know what I mean? Like to get it all done. It just is a lot. There's a lot going on.
It's been really busy, but I mean, to an extent, I like it because if it's slow, I feel like, why am I doing this? Like, what is happening and why is it so slow? I don't feel productive. But I think after reveal with the guys getting back into the swings and knowing that they're there, has been a huge like stress reliever. And I need that moving forward with as much stuff as we've been dropping, with the villain competition, the nemesis, all of that stuff that's coming out. It's just been like insane to keep up with. But it's funny because Dragon will be like, holy tickets. And yeah, you literally scroll through and there's so many tickets that I literally sent Tom a text. I'm like, is there an easy way to like organize this? Because if I have to stare at this many tickets over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to.
I tried to count them all, and like I kept losing track because there was
They
so
just
many.
keep piling up.
Because you have to scroll.
Yeah, there's a lot. But we sold out in like 37 hours.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
crazy.
Went so fast. But that's exciting because that means people are like amped, ready to go. They know what they're getting. They probably learned from the Genesis not to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chris and
wait.
Neil, you guys have had some stuff, massive stuff going on. You guys are almost sold out. These spaces you guys are having. Yeah. Been productive.
I've been in Twitter a lot lately, more than I ever wanted to be. But just getting it done,
What's Twitter?
What's
Titter?
Twitter?
You mean Titter?
Yeah, we don't call it Twitter anymore. Keep up.
And no, but Source Code to Freedom, we're almost there. 83. I mean, like
that's so exciting.
I'm getting ready to delete Titter because I can't change my PFP. Like it's been over a month now.
That's ridiculous. Elon, if you're listening, do better, bro. It was just not good. I even canceled my Blue subscription, which I've had long before the check mark, by the way. It was not the whole check mark thing. But I canceled that, and you still have to wait until it cycles through. So it's like if you change your profile picture, if you get the chance to, it takes like a week for them to verify you again, and then you have to wait to change your picture again. It's just the dumbest thing. Jeez. I don't understand. And then the bots are back. Oh my God. Have you guys been getting notifications?
It's been insane. And so if you don't know, like in this space, like we're in the NFT world, there's this like hard balance between Twitter and Discord. And Discord's supreme. But you have to have Twitter because that's where your spaces are, and your Twitter profile and your tweets and all the things you need to do so people know what's going on. But my gosh, is it just the worst app that's ever been made. I'd rather go back to Facebook. At least Facebook worked. And by the way,
yeah, I hate Facebook. I don't ever use it. Totally. Like people send me text messages to check in on me because I don't use Facebook. Like they're making sure I'm still alive. I don't. Which leads me to I've talked about this before, but do you guys know that I love the like Uber facts on Twitter? Sometimes it shares interesting things, sometimes it shares like really disturbing things, and I debate on if I should continue following it, but it's like I feel like I would miss it if I didn't follow it. So today it shared this one called brand slogans, and it was like, what type of, if it was brutally honest, what should certain brands slogan actually be? And so people were submitting all these different ones, and I was dying. So some of my favorites were McDonald's, our ice cream machine is always broken.
Was there a White Castle? Was there a White Castle one?
There was a White Castle one. It was something to do with it was something to do with a laxative, but I didn't write that one down. Facebook will invade your privacy for the sake of connecting people. Apple, it will be decent for a year max. And then my favorite is Netflix. Come enjoy this series, but not beyond season. Because they always remove series, and you're like, oh, what the, or the series will be like
Oh.
canceled and they won't continue.
I don't know if you, I mean, Whiskey, you might have been the one that put me on it to begin with. So shout out to you, full credit. But Wednesday, renewed, second
Yes,
season.
renewed. I'm so excited. It's
Let's
so good.
go. It's so good.
It is so
I love it.
good. So we talked about this before, but Dragon hadn't watched it. What's your opinion on Wednesday now that you've watched it, Dragon?
Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. Yeah.
The
Like, I
dancing
thought-
scene, so good.
Yeah, that was great. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Dragon and shows, this guy, so rude. So, like, there is this guy who puts on a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and he kind of has the respect of the entire community. He writes the material and, like, builds the worlds. He's really, really awesome. And he made this entire continent called Alexandria and made this beautiful story. And it's garnished millions of views weekly. Everyone knows about it. And they've decided to make it into a series on Amazon called Vox Machina. So Dragon comes in to Discord and is like, "Oh my gosh, I love Vox Machina." And I'm like, "I know, isn't it great? Have you listened to like the campaign and like, yada yada yada?" Guess what Dragon says to me, Whiskey? That's what he says. That's what he says, Whiskey.
What is that?
You ruined it for me.
Is that what he said to you? You ruined it for me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How rude is that? It's like, it's uncalled for. It's like, six.
Oh my God.
Then he says you watch too much TV, which, first of all, rude. Second of all, you don't know my life.
He was like, don't judge me.
but
It is
Enough.
mildly true, though. He always talks to us about shows, and Dragon and I are like, no, we haven't seen that because we don't sit around and watch TV. We do have work and lives. Unlike,
yes.
I have so much work.
I love to get you so fired up and watch your reaction to it. It's just, my gosh, it's so good.
I'm
Did
gonna
you
have to
see
give it a shot.
that new 70s show remake thing? They're making the
Yes!
90s.
90s.
Apparently, Neil's
Freaking
excited
Dragon.
for it. I haven't
Oh my-
seen, I don't think I've seen previews for it.
Oh my gosh, Dragon, I am so
I just saw the
excited about
preview
that.
yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. I
Shut-
don't know how I
no.
feel about it.
You, Dragon?
He was so happy that you said that. Now you're back on his shit list for it.
You stop it. How could you not be excited for that show? And be our age.
I'm just I don't know. I didn't see the preview. I just saw like the poster. And I'm
It's the
just
original
judging
cast.
already. Like judging the new people there. Like they just look
no, there's no new people
know.
except for their children. Like, so like,
Oh,
the
is it?
dad it's Donna and whatever his name is, Eric.
Oh no,
and
I
Red-
didn't know that.
Yeah, Red's the grandpa.
What?
The whole deal. Yes, it's like the original cast, but their children.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks
Yeah.
freaking
Oh,
awesome.
is it coming out soon?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get a shot.
He got so excited, but he doesn't have all the information.
What is he doing? Getting another shot?
I think we stressed him out to the point he needs more alcohol to be able to, which is fair
Yeah.
because we've kind of been a hot mess. Poor guy. Oh, you got the whole bottle. Like, that's how bad it is to work with me and Dragon. He brought the whole bottle.
Wow.
That is a nice thing about our jobs, right? We get to work and drink, and nobody can say anything about it.
It comes
There's a-
out
there-
the 19th. The TV
Wait,
show.
of
Ever
January?
get a smell of liquor and
Yeah.
your stomach immediately tells you that's a mistake?
Yes.
That just happened to me.
Oh
I'm gonna do it anyway.
my god.
So you're
Is
telling
this
me
a
you
Boston
need a
drink?
poop right now?
There's a lot of shit that comes with this space. And
I love that he
gotta
said
have
you need to
things-
poop right now, and he said there's a lot of shit.
Oh man.
We literally
I'm
don't
drunk.
plan this. It just happens.
Not a tobacco.
Oh, he's chugging that. It's been that
Do
kind of
you
Monday.
do you want a break or like a 5-minute break? 10-minute
just-
break?
can I just say, like, it's hard to believe that this is episode 12.
Is it?
I think so.
I feel like we give the same content we gave on episode 1 that is like absolute hot mess express, and people think, oh my god, I can't believe I'm still listening.
But the reality is, like, listen, like, this is in the NFT space, all right? This is the world that we live in. And we might be chaotic, but we're the good chaotic in this. I mean, there was literally an NFT project that went stupid yesterday, and it was pixelated feet pics.
Oh,
right?
Can we talk about that? Oh my gosh. I actually, so shout out to HUD. He comes into the DMs and is like, check out this project because there is a long ongoing joke in the Misfits about feet pics. Because another shout out to King, he would share his feet in our group chat. And so there's just been this ongoing joke about feet in the Misfits. So anyways, HUD comes in, drops this link to an OpenSea that is a feet pics project. And like Neil said, it's pixelated feet pics. And I'm not even, like, I shit you not, they went for like some of them were like so random gross. Like, there's a pair of feet like literally standing in pee. I'm like, what is even happening here? Then there's another pair of feet that had an ankle monitor, and I'm like, yes, I want that one right there. And I kept trying to find one, but they would sell. Ugh.
There was one that reminded me of Dragon's description of his feet pics.
With the panties around the feet?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that one. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, like, we are chaotic. We are chaotic exposure. And we live in this space. And so we do have drinks, to Whiskey's point a minute ago. Like,
yeah,
we have the coolest job in the world. But there's so much more chaos. Like, we're the safe harbor. Come spend time with us. Because it's not safe out there. All right?
Oh, we funnel it out. We funnel out the crazy and just bring you the chaotic.
Oh yeah.
That's well said. That's okay. Core value section in our Putty land.
Putty.
You need to write that.
Can we address the whole, like, is it?
We will.
I always read it like PUD. It's not PUD. It's
Let's
PUD.
talk about it. But can you please put, we filter out the crazy and give you the chaotic? That should be our mission statement for this podcast. So Whiskey now is 2 for 2. Can I read the other one in there?
Yes, but you actually did a copy and paste, and I named people in that one, so you have to filter that out as well and not drop names.
Okay, I think the key. So we've been talking about like what our podcast is, right? So first of all, we filter out the crazy and give you the chaotic. So good. Secondly, the key is finding projects or people we like. It don't have to be in the same. Sometimes we will like the person, sometimes we will like the project, but not the. Sometimes we will like the person, but not the project, or vice versa. Take it or leave it. It's about finding the people or the projects that we like. And I thought that was so well said. That's what we want to do. We definitely want to show people, the quality out there.
Yeah. And it's not a knock on people we've had on, like, at all. Because I think everyone we've had on, we love the project, we love the people. But I know that in this space, you're not always going to see eye to eye on the project they're in, but you love the people. I mean, we can't all have Chris's and Alex and Tom's. We're going to have ones that are like, and Spooks. We're going to have ones that are like, we're just learning about the project, or maybe it's not something we would invest in, but we genuinely stand behind the person. And, so it's definitely not a dig. It just came out.
No, it's not a dig. But we were trying to talk about like the kind of people and the kind of things we want to bring to this podcast. Now, I think today we have a guest that we're going to talk about in a little bit that happens to be with an incredible project. And I mean, like, I'm a happily married man and I am not interested in other people, but she is an impressive specimen. Like, she's awesome. Like, her social media presence is incredible.
Oh my God.
And like I that happens to like the people and the project a lot of the time. And I sent you a DM.
The timing of that was bad.
It was bad. Not intended. I shouldn't have had that second shot so quickly. Or like the second drink of.
Yeah, I can see it's taking effect.
This is
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
just
fun.
getting real honest. But like again, like we want to be able to present the chaotic and the good and the awesome, but not crazy, because there's a lot of that. And
Yeah.
I've seen, like, we've been, all three of us are kind of in like an alpha group. We'll like track tokens or NFT projects that get talked about, and we get kind of hopefully the inside scoop on and try to like invest in it before it goes big. And I have seen some of the dumbest tokens in NFT projects do like 100 ETH in volume in 20 minutes, and it's nothing. It's like, what is happening and how is it happening? This doesn't feel right, right? Like, but yeah, that's what we want to give you on Chaotic Exposure, though. The quality that is out there that is making the space so special and different. And the projects we brought so far, I feel like we've done that really well, and I'm excited for the future because we have a whole list of. January's basically booked, right, Whiskey?
I'm trying to nail down the guests that we did not get last week. So I've actually been messaging back and forth today on that one to nail down the last week of January. But then I'm already starting into February. And it's cool because people are coming to us and saying,
Yeah.
when can I be on the podcast? And that to me
and
is
they're
like
projects
the
that we
biggest
want.
thing.
Yeah, they're projects that we want too. They're not like
Mhm.
the garbage that is out there. And I would say the feet are that's a garbage NFT project. Even if I might buy one, I've owned plenty. I have like several in my wallet right now because again, I try to grab one that I think will go crazy, and it never does. If you want to know what not to do, follow my wallet. Have fun. Just do the opposite of what that does.
Yeah,
You'll make it.
that's true.
But yeah, let's talk about PUD, because there's been a lot of hate over PUD,
Yeah.
and it needs to be addressed.
Okay.
First of all, you share. You talk about it.
I don't
You
even
say
know what it is. Neil constantly brings in PUD in Discord, and all of us are like, no, I don't. Like, has he told you what this is, Dragon?
No, I have no idea what's going on.
Did you not
He
watch the
seems
video,
annoyed that
first
we
of all?
don't. No.
What
Okay.
video?
Little fact: if people send
No.
me videos to watch, I instantly get irate. I don't want middle finger. I don't care. I don't watch
remember.
videos when people to me. It drives me insane.
Get over it.
Yeah, he's
You watch
talking
my
about
videos.
the English video of some dudes talking
It's
about
actually
PUD.
Australian.
Well,
just-
same thing.
Auntie Donna. Go tell that to Alex.
I'm so
I want to see
I'm
what
so
happens.
mad. I wasted my time on that.
Listen,
It
Auntie
was
Donna
like
is
5 minutes
hilarious.
long, and it was dumb. All they talked
Oh,
about
no.
was PUD.
No, it's not PUD. PUD. So
PUD.
English,
I thought that was PUD.
Australian, Commonwealth countries have pudding, and it's different than our pudding that we have here. It's like bread, right? It's like
I thought they were talking about poop.
Oh, no, you did not.
That's
Yeah,
like
thing is
enough with
awesome.
the pood.
If you
It's
watch
not
those
even
brown.
mud. It's pood.
If you watch British Bake Off, you'll understand how good pudding is. You uncultured.
Why was it brown and like it looked like poo?
Ew.
It's bread. It's like whatever. And the cream sauce, you guys just make it gross.
You can keep going.
Can't
We'll
do
stop.
this.
Yeah, keep going.
I got nothing.
I'm sure
Pudding
there's
is
someone that wants
fantastic.
to know.
And there was this brand of like 30-second puddings that you could buy here. Where I buy my biscuits, they had these like English puddings in like an applesauce container, and you could just warm it up for 30 seconds, and you could have like spotted dick and
What?
Is that
yeah,
that's
look
what
it
it's
up. It's a real
called?
thing.
I'm
Oh,
not
it's
looking up
one
anything
kind.
that has the word dick in it. You look it up.
It's not dirty. It's only gross if you make it gross. It's just
Well,
like pudding, right? And
no.
but they call them puds, so like instant puds. And I was so excited about all the flavors, and me and my kids had them. They weren't very good.
You
'cause it's
feed your
nothing
kids spotted dick?
Yeah, I did. I fed them spotted
Oh
dick.
my god.
Do they ask you about the name?
No, my kids are homeschooled.
Is That is not. They're still cable TV, sir. Look at him laughing.
I love what I'm doing to my children in like a little bit of a sadistic way, like because they like there's so much things that are normal to them that are not normal, but they have no idea.
For kids,
I'm
wait
gonna
until
set
they
them
grow
loose.
up and have jobs. And they're
Wait,
gonna
so
just get bullied.
are they like biscuits of like dicks?
I don't even
Oh,
know
okay.
what you're asking, what you're referencing anymore.
Get here.
I'm confused with the name.
I
I don't know why you would
Okay.
call a biscuit spotted dick.
It's not a biscuit, it's pudding.
Oh, pudding. Why?
Spotted dick is a traditional British steamed pudding, historically made with suet and dried fruit, usually currants or raisins.
Look, he looked it up too. Did you just read that off your computer?
Wiki link.
Non-traditional variants include recipes that replace suet with other fats, or that include eggs to make something similar to a sponge, pudding, or cake.
Pass.
It's good.
God.
Yeah, pass.
You get a little cream sauce on it, you know,
Yes, because that's
Oh,
what would
there
make
we go.
anything better is cream sauce.
on your spotted dick.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Now
This is
makes
why I
sense.
have to make, when I publish our episodes, I always click the explicit. And it's because of moments like this that I realize
But it's just pudding.
it was starting out that way, but now we've gone to cream on spotted dicks, and now it is no longer just
That's
pudding.
literally what they eat, and it's not. I'm not making this up. This isn't. It's kind of like how Alex says the C word. It's just normal. Like that's what it's called. You just. It's the same thing, whiskey.
No, it's not the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Okay,
Explain to me why it's not the same thing.
I can't.
What are we even freaking talking about anymore?
I have no idea. So last night I was trying to get some work done, and I'm like going through tickets for the Nemesis stuff, and I'm like trying to figure out where we're at with that. In the process, like 75% of the misfits in Discord decide to start talking in Discord main chat, and it was like the most wild. I could not keep up with the chat. It was so crazy. We were having like how many different conversations, and then was it Dragon or somebody that's like, let's do the counting game. And so we started counting.
Doesn't Maori.
And then yeah, Maori and Kanoa come in, which that's like hot mess right there when the two of them are in chat together. And then you had the Crypto Bros and Alyssa, and I don't know, Drill was in there, like us. It was so chaotic that I at some point looked at my computer, and it was like almost midnight. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even done with what I need to do because we've just been constantly just random shenanigans. But it was so much fun. I loved it. Those are the kind of times where I feel like, okay, I'm doing my job. Like people are coming to Discord. People are excited about being in Discord. And I'm not like patting myself on the back, but it just like to see where Discord was a few months ago and then to see where it is now. Oh my God. I just love it. I mean, I definitely am glad that I've got Mods and Tom to help, because I don't think I could do that like every single night by myself. But I don't think it's gonna calm down. I think as this continues, but I love it.
And
So
it made me miss like our. It's been a long time since. It's been a few months since we used to like have spaces and stuff. Just like the community, I mean, not the not the founders. And it made me miss it because it kind of felt like that, but in text version. And it made me feel really nostalgic. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit like, oh, I want to hang out with the rowdy misfits. I want to be absurd.
Those were fun spaces. I think I tried to keep up with those for a little while, like Rowdy Misfits, and they always were like fun and entertaining. But I think my favorite space ever was when the three of us hosted one, and it literally was like Chaotic Exposure Live. I think that was the one that was called Nut Knockers and Nipple Bows. And that was the best space. I got DMs about how much people loved that space for days after. And I was thinking, like, I need to, because I told the guys of like, or I think I told Alex like a week ago that I wanted to start having like community spaces during the week because we're gonna do like official Misfit spaces on the weekend, but I think it would be good to have like a community space during the week that we get back into a routine of just like hanging out. But it made me think too, like when we were all in there last night, how good it is to have that open communication in the community and not in text. Because how many times, if you think about it, we're in Discord or we're on, messaging each other on WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever all the time, and you really can't hear people's emotion or understand how they mean things or whatever, and that's just can kind of get in the way. But there's something so fun about having a space and it just being like complete rowdy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely need to
It
get
made
back
me
to
feel.
those.
It just made me feel nostalgic last night because it
Mhm.
really did feel like that, and it reminded me of it, and it was really good. And like last night, like I don't want to talk about it, but it was just nice to have that moment because it just felt good. And can I just say, in Whiskey, you can just not comment here at all. Like it's been in between now and those Rowdy Misfit spaces, there's just been like so much shit, and you have had to put up with so much, and you've had to get dumped on and fudded and just kind of shit over. Like I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but you've had to deal with so much, and last night just felt really good. I was happy for you in that because it was all of the people that really want to be a part of this community. Not all of them, this because again, not everyone's on Discord all the time, but there was a number of people that are a part of this community, hanging out, shooting the shit, and having a good time, and it made me happy, and it made me nostalgic, and you deserve a lot more of those nights because that's where the fun is.
Yeah,
Yep.
last night felt like a win. I think, it's just you guys have a deep look into a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. And then obviously Alex and Tom are aware of a lot of what goes on behind the scenes and everything. So, I mean, the four of you together know everything that transpires, good, bad, and ugly. But last night was just so rewarding. I loved it. And Neil just leaves. I think it's funny he gets on us for not paying attention, but then he just randomly gets up and leaves in the middle of addressing a topic. And then when I start responding to it, he's
But I was listening the whole time.
I hate that we can't talk about you anywhere and you not know. Because even in Discord, we talk about you, and then Neil comes in and like
he has to
scrolls
scroll
through.
back.
It's like his morning paper, and it's so annoying.
It's my
'cause he'll
daily digest.
He'll pull the parts where we insult him, and he'll comment on them like hours later because he went through and read everything.
I see everything. Did your grandparents have the Daily Digest to their house? My great grandmother, who just died actually a year ago, she always had the Daily Digest. It was always in the bathroom, which I always thought was really weird.
That's weird.
That's my Daily Digest while I'm pooping in the toilet.
Oh.
That's the only time I read.
Let me circle back to poo. I don't.
I can't, like, if you're listening, first of all, thank you, because this is nonsense.
And
Second
also,
of
we're
all,
sorry.
I'm not that sorry. Amanda listened last week, by
Oh yeah,
the way,
your
in case anyone was
sister.
wondering. Yeah, she texted me and was like, "Hi." But like, I need this. Like, I am having the most fun I've had in a week. Let's not be knocking what I do outside of the podcast. But you two are just the best. You're my favorite. Yeah, I love recording podcasts with you
thank
two.
you.
I love you both. So deal with it. Emotions. Whiskey's
I'm
favorite.
a little annoyed. Yeah, I am a little annoyed that people can say that someone's their favorite and not get any hate for it. But if I say someone's my favorite, oh my god, it's like so much shit. That's why I don't say it anymore, because I'm like, no, I'm done. I just forget it.
People are fun.
It's like Neil's thing. He's like, this is why we can't have nice things. People ruin stuff all the time. It's the worst. People are the worst. This is why we have dogs.
I'm going to say it. I don't give a shit. Here we go.
Oh.
I am an adult, right? I'm an adult. I don't have a clique. I don't have, like, you're not in or out. I'm not in a club. I record a podcast with you two, and I'm equally in communities. And yes, us three, we work together on, and so we spend time together. But that doesn't mean we're like exclusive or that we're a club that no one can join or anything. And I left that I'm sensitive to this because I'm a youth pastor, right? Like I work with teenagers, and I see this behavior displayed daily. Right? Like I see what cliques are, and 14-year-olds have cliques. I would not be doing a podcast with Dragon and Whiskey if they were 14. Yeah, I just wouldn't. We're adults and we respect each other, and so we do a podcast. Okay, I've been holding that in for like 2 weeks. So
Okay.
feel better.
Yeah. I think that there's just so many different personalities when it comes to this space, and there's always gonna be people that have an opinion that does not completely right. It does not reflect you at all. Like you said, I have literally taken so many punches over the last few months, and it has been completely unfair. I don't deserve it. It's been over the most childish, redonkulous shit I have ever had to deal with, and I am at the point where I'm like, I don't care. This is not some corporate I have to be on my best behavior anymore. Come to me. If you have something to say, I will equally respond to you. I'm not going to sit down and let someone walk all over me anymore with this. I'm just like, I'm over it. If you don't like what I
Grown
have
so
to
much in
say,
this space. NFTs are
keep
wild.
your opinions. Yeah.
NFTs are so wild. The space is so intense. I've got me and Dragon, because we have a weekly podcast, we have to communicate a good bit. We have gotten, like you said, Whiskey, kind of like exclusive access to where you are sometimes. And like, you have grown so much. You should be proud of yourself. You should just be really proud of yourself.
I take like one step forward and 10 steps back because all it takes is somebody to like mouth off, and I'm like, all right, hold my earrings. Let me pull back my hair. No.
I gotta go wash my.
No, honestly, I could have been so much worse over these last months, but I genuinely have been on my best behavior. So I will pat myself on the back for not
We're patting you on the back too.
unleashing what is really inside. Because one day it's going to spiral. And I've actually told Alex and Tom, like, listen, one of these days I'm warning you, not going to hold back, and it's just going to come out. And I'm just giving you fair warning.
I would love to see somebody test. Yeah. I would love to see someone test Alex the way.
Oh man, I would. You know what? Honestly, I would not want to be on the other side of a mad Alex because he's just so sweet, but he genuinely behind the scenes will not take any crap either. Like he wants everyone to get along, but he won't like just stand down. So I kind of like. Oh, I would love to see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard Tom when he's a little like, you know,
I'll pay for that.
This is why Alex. I don't know. This is why Alex, and I told Tom this. I'm like, we need Alex on the three of us because he keeps everything mellow, whereas Tom and I are very similar with our attitudes and our responses to where we would have been fudded out of the space a long time ago if it weren't for Alex. So this is why personalities, although are very different, can work well together because you pull from each other's strong points, you know, focusing on the strengths of each other rather than like what everyone else focuses on.
I want to talk about the whiskey.
The whiskey simp.
Whiskey simp. The
confession channel.
Oh, I think we talked about that because I think he heard and I was like, yeah, I have a soft spot for the whiskey. He makes my day, and honestly, some of the confessions that have been shared are on some of my worst days when I took so much crap. And he comes in and says, like, Whiskey is the person you need but don't deserve. And I'm like, oh, like.
I like how she assumes it's a boy. I mean, it could be a girl. I feel like that's really.
Hey, I'm here for that too. Yeah. I mean, I might consider switching team. No,
I think
this seems like a good spot to quit. We won't go into that. Never mind. Comment redacted. Oh my god, Neil is dying in the background. On that note, I think it's time for our guests, right?
I agree. Move on, everybody. I gotta go wash my feet. Dragon's gotta go brush his teeth. We move on. Well, yeah, man, super excited for our next guest. She's with a project that I've really kind of fallen in love with last month. We have Teanuh, who is a senior mod community manager of Children of, I'm going to say this wrong, Teanuh, and then you can laugh at me, just like I called your dog a cat for like Ukiyo, Children of Ukiyo. And
Close enough.
Yeah, okay, cool. And she's joining us. I'm really excited. Like, I took some time and I interacted a little bit, but I sussed you guys out. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, who are these guys? And you
Tell
came
me about
across.
it.
Yeah, you guys came across super awesome, and so did you. And that's a mess of a world. But what I want to just start the podcast, or start this segment with, is just you introducing yourself, tell us who you are. But before we get to that, you did bring some alcohol, and so we're gonna drink a little more. And so let's glasses up and keep getting it.
All right.
Ready?
Cheers,
Go.
folks. That'll help the nerves,
Man.
right?
Just straight cheap tequila. Let's get it.
Well, maybe by your 100th podcast, you can get that really good tequila, right? So it goes down real smooth. But thanks for having me. This is exciting. You guys get to be my
Thank you for coming.
my second podcast ever to be recorded. So I'm Teanuh. I'm community manager over at Children of Ukiyo. But I think I'm part of like a lot of other projects too. So my top projects also is like deer packs, happy seals, cozy penguins. Those would be like all my things. And my whole
Pick some good
mentality
ones.
with that is to go with cute stuff. So if it's cute, if I like how it looks, then I'm all in for it. Not that one. I don't think those are cute.
Not the feet pics.
No, it's oh man, you guys might have to edit that out. I'm not into feet. It's not my thing.
Well, we're not either, just for the record. Because it must need to be said, we are not into feet pics.
We have this.
I tried to sell
community-
feet pics, but it didn't work out for me. I don't know
Did
if you
you?
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'll send you the episode. You can listen to it. There's a lot of revelation in that one.
Oh no, he's
It's called the-
serious.
Oh yeah,
He's serious, yeah.
yeah.
Her face is like, what in the world?
I tried. I have nice feet, and I kind of tried.
You know, I'm curious, but not enough to ask how they look. So
Oh, yeah,
we'll
don't.
maybe
We
keep
didn't
that for
either.
later.
We didn't ask. So, Tina, you introduced yourself. You talked about the project you're with and your role. How long have you been in the role that you're in with the COU? I'm just gonna say COU.
COU is perfect. That's what we call it inside the Discord. I think I've been there since like March of last year. So
Okay.
coming up on like the 1 year mark, but I joined COU because I was really late to the NFT game. So I think I didn't even look at NFTs until January of last year. So pretty much tail end of the bull where everything was just slowly going downhill and then viciously downhill. But my friends who were into it were like, go out there and just get whitelist for everything. That's your number one goal. You're gonna go out and you're gonna make friends with everyone and get whitelist. And I was like, okay, got it, yeah. So I got pretty much OG for Children of Ukiyo. And then I found out real fast that I'm like a really bad degen. So I wasn't able to like manage multiple projects at the same time. So I just like stayed in Children of Ukiyo for the longest time. And I was like, how are these people like getting these mod jobs? Because a mod is just like someone that like hangs out on the Discord and talks all the time. And I figured if I was gonna do that, I might as well try and get paid. So I was like, hey Alex, can I be like a free junior mod? Like you don't even need to pay me, just like let me see what this is like. And he was like, and I love talking to people. So it ended up being really good. And then somehow, boom, actual mod job within 2 weeks probably. And within like 2 months, I like kept harassing Alex, which is our founder of COU, until he was like, yeah, you're practically a senior mod, so like stop asking me. And I'm like, all right, lit. So kind of like self-acquire these titles and just keep harassing people until they give it to me. And then feel like I did the complete like Discord takeover with Enjoy. So it's like me and Enjoy, DMB inside Discord are the like two
Ah.
community managers, and we argue a lot in DMs about like what we should do and what we shouldn't do and all sorts of processes. So most people don't see that part. They only see the like nice curated announcements that we put out to everybody inside the community forums. So pretty much did that. To be honest, I didn't plan to stay, but I got hooked. So
Yes, that makes
CO,
sense.
COU just like
So
feels like home.
if I'm being honest, I listened to you speak for the first time when you had Neil on and he was asking all those questions.
Yes.
And then I think it was I didn't know your role at the time. I think I just started listening to the questions that Neil was asking, and he was asking questions I could relate to because of being a CM with the Misfits. So out of your experience, my question is like, what is something that you would want to tell someone from your experience that maybe is new to being a community manager? Something that like starting a similar role, something you've learned, something that would help them out with beginning in that role.
Ooh, beginning in that role, I would say choose your words wisely and make sure that you really understand community service. I would say that because you could like type something out and for you it makes total sense, right? But as a
Mhm.
community manager, moderator, anything like that, you're dealing with this international crowd all of a sudden of like all sorts of different cultures. So something that sounds totally fine to you might have this like greater context, or maybe they don't understand sarcasm. So I think you have to like approach those things really carefully. So
Preaching to the choir, girl.
yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta be real
as she's
careful with that.
talking, I'm like, oh my God. And there's so many different personalities, like, and you probably relate too that as your community grows, you get more personalities, you get more backgrounds, and the combination together can really be a struggle because I'm not a people person. I am very sarcastic. I'm very honest and straightforward. But the guys knew what they were getting with me, so I really don't make apologies for it. However, I really tried to like curb a lot of things that you want to say, but you can't say. Um, so I think in that there's like you learn from it, and so I've been doing this for 5 months as a community manager. I've been with the Misfits for a year, but you learn from it. But it's kind of like a constantly changing and constantly evolving, and you have to keep up because of the community. Their needs change, the personalities change. Like I said, it's just constant changing, and if you don't keep up, it's like you're blindsided by it. So I think when you're talking about that, it's really hard to express yourself in writing. And I don't know if you're this way, but when you type something out, you like read it multiple times. And then you think, if this
For
got
sure.
out there, like, am I okay if the entire world saw it? Even like in DMs, like when you're trying to talk to your team or if you're trying to talk to somebody in the community or whatever, it's like you have to constantly be on guard of like where this message can go and how you word things because we're in that era of screen sharing, screenshot messages. You know what I mean? Like you're
For
smiling, like
sure.
you know what I mean. Like it just constantly goes.
Yes. So I would say that I'm a little different in a sense that I've been not like a I haven't like officially been like a community manager for long. Like of course NFTs is like my first instance, but I'm very much an extrovert. I'm very much a people person and my job in IT is also very customer facing. So I deal with the emails, the messages, and like having to stay at a certain level of like professionalism and having to provide a certain like, white glove service, specifically to my college because that's just how things run there. And I've actually been on kind of like the other side of the coin where some folks will like type something and just like fire it off. And then within like 2 seconds, I'm in their DMs like, hey, I think you should really change it to say this because I know you mean this, but you know, it could really be taken in this other like real negative way. And then, oh, okay, yeah, I'll fix it. So I'm more of like, I spell check and grammar check everything that like comes out of COU on like a professional level, like with all of the mods when
You'd
we
hate
send it
working
out.
with Neil.
Yeah, you'd hate me.
I'd be in your DMs all the time.
You would be.
But I don't mind doing that. And I think at least like the mod team, we've gotten to a point where like they know that I mean it from like a loving way. So they're all like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah. For me, it's been a really fun job. There's only been like 2 times where it like wasn't a fun job. And I've talked to like Neil about it. And of course, when we had the Twitter space and he was asking me questions. But outside of those really like not fun times, it's been really fun. I'm sure I'll be doing
Yeah.
it for a long time, for as long as
I think
COU exists.
I think Dragon
So
has the next question, but
yeah,
I will just say, like, can you guys hear me or not?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Like Whiskey and I were chatting about a little bit because I'm a community man for Chris Fond, and like like to do this well, the days that are great have to outweigh the bad. And I think I've found a home. Teanuh, you most certainly seem like you found a home, and I know Whiskey's found a home of a place where that's true, and that's so important. You know? But go ahead, Dragon.
So we got some questions from your community, and
Oh dear God.
Sorry, not sorry.
I saw
So
Neil
you-
type this and I was already like, oh, those were one of the things. Don't ask them.
so first question is, how do you feel working for COU?
Oh,
You
oh,
kind of
thank-
answered it a little bit.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I feel really good. I think we have a good team. I think we have a really good founder, Alex. I might give him a hard time, but he always listens. Be it the mod team, me, or even like the community members, like no matter how small you are, you might hold one COU, and if you go in there and you're like, hey Alex, I don't really like this that happened, he's going to give you a full explanation of like what were the decisions behind it, how can we make it better. From everything that I've seen from Alex, I'm really happy.
Yeah. And it's really just a mess because you not only have a founder named Alex, like Whiskey does, but he also goes by the Wizard. And there's just like context to those words. And it took me a minute to get over that a little bit because there's
Like
just too much
trigger.
overlap. There's just a lot
Does
of
Fitz also go by the Wizard?
Yeah,
No,
there's this
two
one-
separate things though with Wizard and Alex.
two
They're
separate things. There's just a lot of triggering words that are
He
thrown
also goes
around.
by Papa, and apparently that was
Oh,
triggering
yes.
too.
That one might be.
Yeah, so Papa and the Wizard are the same person elsewhere in the world of Web3. And it's definitely triggering. And then Alex is the founder of the Misfits. And so, like, this isn't really the question, but, like, my experience through Web3 is kind of interesting. I started in a BSC project, really had a poor ending, and found my way to the Misfits and found, like, this safe harbor to kind of recover and heal, if you will, because it was
Man.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad you found them. I've
Yeah.
heard the horror stories, especially from
Yeah, there's
the friends that have been in NFTs, and they're like, there's a lot of bad that's happening there. So I do feel pretty.
and I
lucky
definitely
of like where
I got beat up pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
know.
And Misfits kind of helped me find myself again because I made my way all the way up to like a chief marketing officer in a token project, like a cryptocurrency. And that ended not the way I wanted it to end. But the Misfits kind of helped me find my voice and myself again in the space because it's such a crazy space, and that's what this podcast is about. Like kind of just like unfiltered access to what it's like being involved in Web3, right?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
but I am curious. I don't think I see this question here, but I'm gonna. Oh no, it's there. It's at the bottom. I'm gonna move it up. No, I'm not. This is. We don't edit here. This is real world mess.
Well, if you edit it up,
This
then
isn't-
it's live and it's not really edited, right?
So this question isn't from your community, but it is from me. I have 2 full-time jobs. I am a community manager and a farmer and a few other things. And I look at you and you have a side hustle. You are in the NFT space. You have a full-time job, and you even just launched your own NFT project.
I did.
And
Minta
you
kimchi.
did, and you minted kimchi. We're all dog
Everybody go
people here,
minta
by the way.
kimchi.
Let's get it. But I relate a lot with that, like on paper, and I'm just curious to know like what your mindset is and how you handle that life, because I get questions all the time from people like in my life that are in real world, like, why are you living this way? But personally, I could never not live this way. Like, this is who I am, and so I'm genuinely interested when I see someone else doing it, like,
Yeah.
to know what their perspective is.
To be honest, I've been asked that as well, by a lot of like IRL friends, but also like Web3 friends that when I like talk to them for the first time, and it's usually the introductions and my like unofficial resume like starts to like go on and on, seemingly like no end. But I love picking up hobbies, and I think I go at hobbies in a very different way. So most people, they'll pick up a hobby, it's for pure enjoyment. Hypothetically, let's pickleball, basketball, like they'll do those things to like relax, de-stress, not. But when I pick up a hobby, unfortunately, I instantly think, how can I make with this hobby so that I can feel it and keep buying the tools I need for this hobby and maybe even feel the next hobby. So that's kind of what's accidentally happened with all of my things. So day job aside, day job is great. I love my coworkers. I don't have any intention of like leaving it. But with my side hustle, I make merch. So I have like a
Letterkenny.
t-shirt business, sticker business, Letterkenny specifically.
Oh,
So
it makes
if
me
you
so happy.
have, I'm the only seller of this specific sticker too. So I really like cornered the market on it. But I pretty much was like, ooh, I want to make stickers. And I was like, ooh, I can make stickers for money and then make my own stickers for free. That was the whole intent. And then I started making shirts. And then I started making banners. And I was in college at the time, so there were a lot of student run events. So I started making sure student organizations. And this all kind of like jumbled together. Somewhere I like bought a 3D printing machine, started like 3D printing stuff for people, made money off of that, bought a better cutter for, I'm like pointing to the side like you can see my workshop, but it's like a bunch of machines. And I think that's what happened in Web3. So I was like, ooh, let me go do Web3 stuff. Might as well get a job in it so I can get paid while buying cute NFTs that I enjoy. And if you're asking me like why I do all that, I have no idea. It's like a hustler mindset
What
with like
motivates you?
ADD.
Is it just being a hustler? Is it ADD?
I don't.
Because
I
I have
don't think.
ADD.
I don't have diagnosed ADD. If that
Well,
helps, I don't. I don't think I do.
apparently ADD is not a thing anymore. It's all just ADHD. But I was actually diagnosed as ADD as like a 10-year-old, and like
Well, I mean,
was
like
always
ADHD. I thought it was more of like you can't focus. You can't sit in one spot because you're like hyped, right?
yeah,
That's the AH
totally.
part, isn't like hyperactive. But like I'm able to focus, so I don't think I have that. But I
I get that.
also get bored really easily, so I'm constantly looking like
Same.
for the next thing that I want to do. We're like the
Is it
same
just that
person,
we're
Neil. We're like the
ADD?
same
Yeah.
person. It might
High
be
five.
new ADD.
Awesome.
Yeah. But in summary, I don't know why I do it. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it's not tiring. I guess that's the important. Is that people think it's like really tiring and that's taking up all my time, but it's not. It's probably because I enjoy it.
So, this one actually did come from your key. They asked, what are your motivations in this environment? They said that you are very appreciative and dedicated, unlike most people in the space. What would be your accomplishments that would make you feel good about your impact on Web3?
That's a lot of questions all in one.
Those questions were so good though.
So the first one is, what are your motivations in this environment? I think Neil kind of covered that a little bit with his, like a little bit.
Yeah, so my motivations be, I think I just want to learn about it. And the best way to learn about it is to do it. That's kind of like why I'm here. And that now that I'm here, and now that I have like this role as community moderator, I want to do it really well. Probably the like Asian perfectionism thing that's like been toiled into my brain all these years, but I just want to do it really well and not regret how I performed during that time.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
Um,
And then the next
What would
part,
be your accomplishments that would make you feel good about your impact on web?
oh, that's easy. That would be all the connections I've made. So I would say all the friends that I've made. Kind of like in the beginning, I'm like a really big extrovert and I try to make friends everywhere I go. But Web3 and this whole like NFT thing has really opened that up. Like I can be friends with somebody that lives in France and we talk every day. That would be Enjoy. And then I can be friends with somebody that lives in Canada on like the West Coast time, like Giselle and Deer Pack. And we talk every day. She's on vacation right now, so I haven't talked to her and like she'll be back soon. And then I don't think there's any other place that can really build these connections. There's also a lot of sleeping giants in this whole field where it's like you talk to each other and you don't really know like, hey, that could be a CEO of a company, or that could be like a single mom that's like really struggling. So I think that's also really talk to everybody on this like even playing field and build that real connection with and take it out of Web3. For example, I went to NFT NYC and I got to meet a bunch of like the Sappy Seals and I had a great time with them. I got to meet one of the team members of the Deer Pack and I had a great time there. I got to meet the team over at Evereye, and I think that's really what I'm gonna take out of this. Not the profits, but really like the friendships that were. And now I have you guys. So now I know all of you.
What's cool about the space is that I'm not an extrovert. I'm a hard introvert. I did not take this position because I wanted to talk to people every day. I like the
You're in for a
when I
surprise.
ooh, when I got the request from the guys to hop on the team, I was like, why? I wasn't like, oh yeah, I would love to. I was like, why? Why would you want me to do that, knowing my personality? So that was not why I did it. I did it because I genuinely wanted to help them. The community wasn't the first thing on my mind, and I have no shame saying that. It was not the first thing on my mind. It was to help them because I knew a lot that was going on for them, that maybe the community. And then as time went on, you start to realize how much work comes with it. And like I said, I've been doing this for 5 months. So I'm at the point where you start to phase stuff out and filter what you need to stay on track and find your people. With like Dragon and Neil, I mean, you find your crew and you just it's like your personalities can be completely opposite, but you fit perfectly. It just is like this really good like my friends in real life, I just don't really I'm not as connected to them as I am with them. It's really weird, but it's something that you've adapted to in Web3, and being in this space for, over a year, things change, and for me, I didn't realize how connected and how invested emotionally you would get to it beyond the project itself, because you really connect to the people and you just develop these friendships beyond. You start to know people's real names and their kids and their pets and their jobs, and you have these real life conversations that go beyond floor sweeping and volume of OpenSea. And because that's what's genuinely important in this space, is those connections that are made and the building and all that stuff. So I appreciate your answers. It's just funny to hear other community managers and their opinions and their perspectives when you're going through this. So
Yeah, definitely. Your point on like how opposite you are from like Dragon and Neil, I think really ties into me and Enjoy, right? Because it's me and Enjoy planning most of the things, and we are opposites in that I'm like the strict mom of the Discord, and he's like the fun, easygoing dad. So pretty much, if anybody wants to do
Why
anything in
you
the
just call
Discord,
Dragon.
him?
they'll go, yeah. I'm called ma'am in the Discord for 2 reasons. We'll get to that afterwards, but pretty much if they want anything, they'll go to Enjoy and he'll probably say yes. And then I will be in Enjoy's DMs like immediately like, we cannot do that. We should not be doing it that way. And then me and Enjoy fight, and eventually something gets released to the group. But I do
That's
find
awesome.
that opposites attract, and I think it gives us a really good balance in the team. Things get a little hectic in the Discord, but they tend to be more or less okay.
You know, I'll say this too. Like, Misfits are kind of my like main community, and I would say Children of Ukiyo quickly becoming up there with the Misfits for me a little bit. I've really found I found another really great place to hang out at. I really
I
love
love
what you guys are doing,
that.
but you guys are intense. I mean, I'm surprised you don't have slow mode on sometimes. It's like I'll take a 5-minute break and come back, and we're 300 messages deep.
Yeah, I think the only time we've turned slow mode on is during Mint. Bad things happen and people just start yelling over and over again. That's the only time we've turned on slow mode. Other than that, it is free reign. You guys can do whatever you want in the Discord with that.
So I guess another question we have is ICAM a good community member?
I believe his name is pronounced Icham, and I've actually only
Icham?
yeah, Icham, and I think I've only
Icham.
learned about that like last
Ah.
week. But for the past 8 months, I've only said ICAM in my head also. But yes, I think Icham is a good community member, and he does a really good job at pushing the word. He's always on the raid posts, generally only good vibes. So I appreciate Icham and all of our other community members. Honestly, everybody in there is great. I don't think we have a problem community. We deal with those pretty quickly. So
I love seeing how close knit they are. It reminds me of the Misfits community in a lot of ways. Sorry, my son just opened the door, and
I want to say hi to you.
we can say hi in a minute.
we
buddy.
can say hi.
Come here. Chaotic, come on. Come here, quickly. Say hi.
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 What's up, buddy?
All right, I'm talking now, okay?
Punch your dad.
But there was one question that came up in your Discord, and I actually kind of cried a little bit, like if I'm being honest. And I'm the dramatic one here. I'm the emotional one here. I have no problem admitting that. But somebody asked you. First of all, they talked about your character, and they talked about how much they appreciated you, and then they asked like, what can we do as a community member to help further push the project as far as possible? And to get a question like that from a community, just it hit me in my heart a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it just like, because I mean, what other question would you want to be asked in your role? You know, like,
I love them. Who asked it? Did you write down who it was?
not in the notes that I'm looking at, but I think I did in other notes.
All right, I'll go search it up later and give him a hug or something.
It was really cute.
It's super cute. I think COU is really cute. Everybody that's involved. We actually kind of like digressing, but we did this like recent thing where they were just trying to figure out like everybody's ages. It's like just like long posts of like names and what their ages were, and it went all the way down. I hope that's the youngest, to be honest, if I'm really being honest, and then like it goes all the way up to like past 40. So we have a wide range of people, but I think they're all adorable. And I love that they ask that. They ask it all the time, and we keep answering it, but and yet they keep asking. I don't know. I don't know what they can do. Stay really cool because community is special, and it's obvious that people notice it when they join the Discord or maybe they see likes or our memes. I think they're pretty good too.
Enter their Discord at your own, you know what I mean?
It really is that as well. Depending on who is online at the time, which people are online at every single hour, because we're lucky enough to truly be international. We have like the North Americans, we have South America, Europe, Asia. So they're all like in there. We even have like Australia and Hawaii. So it's really covered like every. But I want to say, just keep telling people how much you like it here, and if they hear it enough times, they'll get a little curious. Maybe they'll come check it out, and we'll either welcome them with open arms or scare them away. So it's kind of a toss up on that one.
What team are you in?
What team am I in? Oh, you're talking about what clan?
Yeah, clan.
I'm part of the Yokai Ghosts.
Oh, what's Neil?
It looks like he's
I am also in the Ukiyo Ghost. Let's go.
Yeah, we're
I
yokai
never
ghosts,
get for
but
Tina, like I never get my friends in my team ever. Like, and
Oh my gosh.
in fact, I tend to repel my friends away from the team somehow, if that makes
how
sense.
does
Like,
that happen? What are you doing?
I'm just a passionate person. I just get excited. And we were talking about how I ruined a show for Dragon earlier because I like started spouting all the facts about it because I was excited, and
Oh
so it
no,
just
did you
and I
spoil it?
well I didn't spoil it, but like do you know who Matt Mercer is?
Oh, no, I'm really bad at
That's,
like
that's well, we're not going to go
current
to the
shows.
office or anything because
Okay.
then we'll really get frustrated. But yeah,
If
go
we
ahead.
say we don't know something, he's like, "That's terrible. You're a horrible person." And then
Yeah.
Tina says, "No, I'm sorry. I don't know." And he's like, "That's okay."
That's
I'm against
Tina
I get
gets a
special
special place.
privileges. Wait until
She
I go
does.
on the second podcast, then I'm gonna get like truly harassed.
No, no. We only harass certain ones. We try to keep it at least somewhat enjoyable. But I really liked that question because Neil was the one who went into your Discord and pulled a bunch of questions. And so it really wasn't until we kind of met beforehand to read through and see the questions and figure out which ones we could fit into this time slot. And I like that because as a community, a lot of times, depending on how active you are, you can see the founders as the ones who should be doing everything. They're the ones, it's their project, they're in charge, they. Like that is a lot of times how certain people in a community may feel, depending on their level of activity and investment. So when you have community members that genuinely are like, how can we do something? That's not really that common to find a community that says, how can we help? How can we do something? Because the pressure on this side is insane. And the community doesn't always know everything. You can't always tell everything. So there's like this circle of trust needed for the community to understand that you genuinely have the best interest of the project and the community at heart, even if it doesn't appear that way. And there is that level of trust that you have to kind of put into the founders and the team to know that they're working and they're doing what they can. But as a community, there are a lot of projects, like we're a DAO, so you have that involvement with the community to where there's a lot of feedback and say and opinions and voting on what everyone wants. And so there's that interaction, but there is not always in communities where they ask, how can we do something? So I thought that was a really cool question that they brought to you, because that's just not something I've really heard often.
Yeah,
Tina,
the more I talk to people, the more I feel like I really lucked out on this group because I I don't really have like those problems that are like generally in NFT communities. Like I can't say we don't care about floor price because you are an NFT project. Everybody cares about floor price, right? But it's not the top of the list. It's not the
Right.
number one. And I think we're not officially a DAO, so it's not like we're required to vote on everything. But we've been voting on everything since pre-mint. It's like, what do you want the mint price to be? What do you think the collection size should? How many Children of the Void should there be? Like all of these things have been voted, and all the way down to the lore, because we are a lore-based NFT project. All of those have also been voted on. So at one point, each clan had decisions to make, right? So we're getting attacked. What do you do? Do you listen to the elders? Do you send all of your troops? Do you say, hey, we can't do this, we'll send half the troops? And all of these things have been voted on since day one. So I think the transparency and the way that we run things have really set us up for this moment where
Tina.
I love our people, but it wasn't like a overnight thing, right? Like we had these like tiny building blocks that have made this good for us.
The real question, as eloquent and amazing, is why won't you sing for your community?
Oh
They
my
all want to know.
goodness. So that would be the second time they've asked for something that I like absolutely refuse to do. And the first thing that they asked me to do was say ara ara. And if you're into like any anime culture, then that would make sense. If not, it sounds like absolutely crazy. but I did that for them after we completed our mint. So that's when I did that. I don't know about the singing thing. We gotta do something
What's it gonna take?
like
What's
crazy.
it gonna
Oh
take?
man, this is gonna get recorded. I gotta really
It is.
bump it up. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
What's it gonna take,
Is it?
Teanuh?
Oh,
This is
God,
the question that everybody wants to know.
Oh man. I'll sing for the community if we get 0.15 ETH floor price.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. 0.15 floor price. That's what it takes.
Yeah, that's
Answer.
what it takes. That's what
All
it's
right.
gonna take. And then
Well, now they know.
Probably I have time to like practice. So it's the worst question. I know exactly who asked that one.
There was actually, I think it was asked by like 5 people. To be
I
fair.
know. I know it was.
Also, Spy.
My
I
problem
don't know why,
children.
but I think Spy is cute. I don't know how, like his presence on social media.
Spy's super cute.
Yeah. Right. Okay. The end.
We can establish that. I think Spy is really cute.
So we talked about COU. We know about you and your role. What can you tell us about Kimchi?
What can't I tell you about Kimchi? I fostered her and her brother Calby when they were like, I think like 3 or 4 weeks old.
And this
from
is your dog, right?
This is my dog, yeah.
Okay.
So I fostered her and her brother when they were like 4 weeks old. And then I had them for 2 months. And obviously at that point, I was like, well, I can't give up this puppy. She's so cute. But I also can't keep both dogs because that would be financially irresponsible to try and pay vet bills for 2 whole dogs. So I was like, if I can find somebody to adopt Calby, then I will adopt Kimchi and then they'll get to stay together because it would be essentially be me and like my friends that are gonna do it. Luckily, my friends were like visiting at the time, or maybe like I went down to visit them and I brought both puppies with them and they fell in love with Cal. So my best friend has Calby. I have Kimchi every now and then. And that's pretty much like Kimchi's history. And I've had her for 6 years now, and she's just celebrated her 6th birthday. And that's why there's a kimchi project, because it's really just, I just want to give everybody a kimchi. I know the next one's like, will I show Kimchi live? Kimchi is in the bedroom right now because she really enjoys barking at random things. She's not accessible to me right now, but generally she's sitting like right here on my side.
So the next question we have is, what have you learned from the kimchi mint?
Oh God, I feel like I've learned so much. I learned how hard it is to make the art and make the traits because I am not an artist. Like I've never really drawn or anything, so that was a struggle. I want to say that took the longest. Shout out to all the artists out there that can just pump out these like crazy illustrations within like a couple minutes to like an hour, or the ones that work on it for like a whole week and they have huge respect for that. I also learned that really hard to understand contracts because I was trying to do this as free as possible, like for myself. I was trying to generate all the images and like figure out the metadata and try and do all of that. And I like had the Python scripts going. I was like teaching myself Python. I was trying to do all these things and I was like, well, this is getting really crazy and I don't want to accidentally hurt anyone. Like if I have like a hole in my contract and then all of a sudden like all my friends' NFTs are gone and then they're gonna be really angry that they have a kimchi in their wallet. So ended up going with a service that one of my friends, Lebowski, introduced to me. He was like, we use Bueno.art for generations. And I was like, oh, they have like contract stuff. Have you tried that one? He said, no. So I was like, I might as well just. So I did all that. I did no advertising for this. So it's very obvious why we are not sold out already on these wonderful kimchis. But that's okay. I wasn't doing it like for the money. I learned about airdrops and how that all happens on the back end. I learned about how much gas costs to airdrop all the things because the first thing I did was like get the wallet addresses of all my friends and I was like, I'm just gonna airdrop you guys kimchis. You don't even have to
I tried.
comment or anything.
I told you. I was like, don't send me one. Let me just mint. And,
No.
yeah.
No, everyone's getting
mint some.
airdropped the kimchi.
I
You're gonna
want
get
some.
airdropped the kimchi too. Drop those wallets. I got you. But I think the whole thing has been like really fun and I get it. I get why people do this because every time that number goes up by 1, it's so exciting. Not only that, like, oh yeah, I just made $2 off this kimchi man. It's also, wow, they're posting it on Twitter and it seems like they really like it. Wow, they like that kimchi that they got from the project. So I bet like every single founder is like over the moon every time they see one of their NFTs or someone saying that they like something about the traits. That's what I've learned. There's still more to learn. I'll make a contract one day.
Holy cow. Tina, did you airdrop me a second kimchi?
So what I did was after 4 or 5 days, I took a snapshot of all the holders and then I doubled everybody's holding.
Oh my
Whoa.
So I just airdropped
Nice.
200 of them or something.
I just looked at my head because I remembered your DM and I looked and sure enough.
Yeah, they're all in the hidden folder. So I'm sure there's a bunch of kimchis that people don't even know they have. And at this point, it's like old gold chainmail, where it's like, oh, you got one kimchi, get ready for the next one. I'm just gonna keep sending them until there's no more kimchis to send. You can't stop it.
So people can find your project through the kimchi. They can find that through your Twitter profile. Is that where it is, or does it have its own?
Yeah, it's just through me, because there's no roadmap, there's no plans to take it anywhere, so I didn't want to give anybody that false hope by making like a Twitter page or making like a whole website. It's just on my Twitter page, pretty much. If you know me, you'll be able to find it, and it's currently in the pin post, but eventually that's going to be replaced with something CoU.
Well,
did you guys have another question?
I was just gonna say thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I just want to say the wolves are the best clan.
Oh my gosh. Smelly wolves.
God, the smelly wolves, man.
I know.
No, we're the best clan. We're the strongest.
They just get their fur
Shout
everywhere.
out to them.
Yeah.
Goodness, the amount of times we have to vacuum.
No, they tricked me. Because I didn't know there was a dragon one. And that's what the one you guys are in, right?
You got shafted.
Yeah. They tricked me.
That's
there's
rude.
there's not technically a dragon one.
The one with the dragon symbol? Which one's that one?
The one with the dragon symbol.
Isn't it a dragon symbol?
The Ukiyo, I don't know how to say these words. The ghosts.
Yeah.
The ghosts? The yokai ghosts?
Yeah, isn't that
that's more like a mask. It's supposed to be like a
okay.
Asian style mask.
Yeah, so the wolves are the best. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we have like wolves,
dragon
foxes, robots, trees.
I was a little disappointed. I was like, no, I missed out on the dragons.
No, this has
we
been
don't have
fun.
any dragons.
I'm glad that you were able to take the time to come on. We all talked about you coming on as soon as we heard you speaking on the space. To have you on and really get to know you and your role was something that was interesting to us, and then the project as well, because I know all of us are holders of CoU. I'm trying to figure out what Neil is happening.
Carry on.
This is our chaos that happens weekly. So I think if neither of you have, I know, yeah. He held up his phone. I'm like, what is happening?
Understand.
We're just gonna ignore Neil and then end this, but we appreciate you coming on. It was a lot of fun. We definitely would love to have you on again. And I think that's it, right? This is it for episode 12.
12.
Thanks for having me, guys. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be back whenever
Awesome.
you want.
And Kimchi, send nudes.